Yo, so black man, if more, Meg, bro. Anyway, man, I just think about things. I, I mean, you know, the name of this video is, I don't know. I don't know what the name of it's gonna be, but it's gonna be based on the fact that the game that is being run on black men is incredible, amazing. You know, the game that is being run on you, gentlemen, as Hardcore Tito would say, is so strong. But it's insane, man. It's insane, but it's not about the game that's being ran on you. It's about, you know, why is this game being ran on you, man? Why is the game being ran on us? A lot of black men, they don't like listening to these kinds of videos because, you know, I know it's a hard pill to swallow. Nobody said that the red pill was gonna go down easy. It's a hard pill to swallow. But like I said, man, why is this game being ran on us? That is the question. Why? You know, why is it so relentless? You know, why is it so relentless, black man? It makes me think, man. It makes me think of a pharmaceutical company. It makes me think of Dr. Sebi, and all the things he went through. Black men, you don't understand who you are. I don't know if a lot of you understand who you truly are. And why it's imperative that these people keep you under their foot. You look at all the things that Dr. Sebi went through, and you're like, man, you're like, why would they do such things to him? See, when these pharmaceutical companies, they make billions of dollars, so they can't have somebody like Dr. Sebi coming along and curing diseases and curing AIDS. Just that's an affront to that billion-dollar industry. Black men, you are an affront to all these industries, because they understand that if a black man does something, he gonna do the right thing with it. If a black man receives some intelligence, he's gonna do the right thing with that intelligence. He's going to make the world a better place. He's not going to use the intelligence that he receives and weaponize it, turn it into a weapon, capitalize on it for the most part. There's nothing wrong with capitalizing on the things that you do, but in a country that is based on capitalism and competition, you know, you swimming with sharks, you're swimming in an ocean full of sharks, cutthroats, grimy and dirty individuals. Black man, we have all the tools we need. We have all the tools we need. We just gotta learn how to put them together, man. We got the educated brothers, we got the blue collar brothers, and we got the muscle. We got the gangsters and the killers. All of these people serve a purpose. We just gotta channel our energies in the right way. We have to focus our talents. We need to have, when we come up with something, we need to have people who can protect us, aka those thugs, those gangsters. Those are your that's your security force. If properly put in the right context, if these brothers were put in the right context, you know, their cutthroat their cutthroat attitude is what we need. We need cutthroats. You know, we need to protect the things that we build. I mean, just like building any country, if you're gonna build a country, you need cutthroats to protect anything that you put together. You don't need cowards though. I mean, but you see, another thing we need is we need brothers who have a moral code. There's nothing wrong with being a cutthroat individual, but you also have to have a moral code behind that. You know, you got to have a real purpose behind doing the things you're doing. You know, you got to be in the right. You got to be in the right. And, the reason why these people must keep you down, must keep you below, under their thumb, must co-opt your movements, your businesses at all costs, is because ultimately they know you're going to do the right thing. That's not good for business. Black men doing the right thing is not good for business. Anytime this is why I say, you can't be following these people because anytime they get some intelligence, like the atomic bomb, for instance, they got the intelligence to create an atomic bomb, and they turned it into a weapon. They got a hold of your woman and turned her into a weapon. She's a weapon. She's a weapon against you. If they get a hold of some intelligence or some information, it's about how do I use this information? How do I use this information, to as leverage against my enemies? You you are all alone in this world. Everybody is against you. Everybody. Don't get it twisted. You know, some of these people might look at you like, some lost puppy. Like the white woman, she likes to have you men around as her lost puppy until she gets tired of playing with you. Then she starts her fuckery. You know. But I mean, you really got nowhere to run. You can't run into the arms of white women. You can't run into the arms of black women. You can't run into the arms of white men. It's hard to even run into the arms of black men. Where do you go? I don't say this to give people a bleak outlook on life. But ultimately, I want you to internalize these things so you can move forward. Internalize these things so you know how to move forward in the future. Hopefully, some of this is helping you When I say, don't use their information, I don't mean that you don't educate yourselves, you don't use something that you can actually utilize to benefit you. I mean, when you obviously know that someone's trying to control you. I mean, what I mean are the false narratives. The false narratives. Even if those narratives suit your interests, sometimes you got to reject them, because they could be running some game on you. You know, they could be running some game on you. Just look at these movies, all these movies they putting the black woman in. You know, they're putting black women in all these movies. They can give her a few crumbs and she'll assume that she has now been integrated into this society. She's accepted. She really thinks that she's been accepted. And what she does is she says, "Oh, black man, why can't y'all get y'all stuff together? Look at us. How come black women could do this? How come black women could do that?" This is what she says to you. Easily manipulated. I mean, if I wanted to really manipulate somebody, I could throw them a few crumbs and they'll be off to the races. We got to think more critically. We got to be intelligent enough to judge whether someone is giving us a token to shut us up or to come back later and co-opt us, which basically means they're going to come back later and ask you for a favor. Oh, don't do this business deal, do this other business deal. And you're going to, once you fall in line with these people, we honestly want to believe, that, it's not as bad as these people are saying. We want to believe that, because black men, nobody, not even, it's not even about black men, but nobody wants to live their life with a bleak outlook. But you are basically, I'm basically painting you into a corner. I'm basically painting you into a corner to see what you do. What are you gonna do, black man? My videos serve a purpose. I want you to, I want to point you into a corner where you have to make a decision. I don't want no one to manipulate you. I don't want someone to lull you into a false sense of security. These videos are hard to listen to. Nobody wants to listen to. I see my view account. I see my view account. I see who's listening to what videos. I don't see exactly who's listening to what, but I see, I can see by the numbers, if I'm talking about black women and how stupid they are, then I'm gonna get a lot of views from that, because it's a general consensus that black women are fucking up, at least amongst black men and other races of men, and men from other countries. There's a general consensus that black women are out of control. It's a hard thing when it comes to black women. It's a hard thing because you do understand that everything they do is going to come back and you're going to be held responsible for that. Black men seem not to believe this. You being held responsible for shit that happened 40 years ago, when your uncles and your grandfather or whoever was allowing these women to get away with all kinds of nonsense without checking them, because they bought into the hype. They bought into the fact that, yeah, women deserve to have some rights. Women need rights too. Yeah, women need rights too, but they, but you give them an inch, they gonna take a mile. You know, you give them an inch, they're gonna take a mile from you. You know, they're gonna keep taking. I mean, when do they give up? Okay, you got your equal pay. You can do whatever you want. You can say whatever you want. And now, I mean, it's like a child. It's like a child. When a child doesn't get their way, what do? They start kicking and screaming and yelling and throwing things and acting childish. This is the same thing these women do. They don't want the responsibility of the parent. The parent has to make sure that that person or that child doesn't stick their finger into the light socket. So when they see the child playing with the plug, you know, and that child gets shocked or something, you're going to be held responsible. You're going to be held accountable for that. You know, that's what you facing right now. You facing accountability. See, black women are saying men ain't shit. All you dudes ain't shit based on some shit that you ain't had nothing to do with. You ain't had nothing to do with that. You didn't have nothing to do with dudes getting drunk and high 40, 50 years ago. If that was even the case. I don't know. I wasn't there. I've heard stories that it's a bunch of bull. It's got to be a bunch of bull because we can see it today. It's a bunch of bull. You know, we really gotta, we really gotta recognize the game that is being run on us and understand that you have no friends. You have no friends. You don't even have other black men. So don't let these people, if they're not on the 5 steps in the moral code, you do not allow these people to lull you into a false sense of security. You do not allow that to happen because eventually you are going to get raked over the coals by these individuals. You know, like I said, man, I understand. I know that. I know that's it's a hard pill to swallow. It's you don't want to believe it. You don't want to believe it. You want to go back to individualism. Well, that's not me personally, that ain't what I'm going through, you know what I mean? I don't have no, of course, I mean, I'm the same way. But in the grand scheme of things, I have to look at the big picture. I mean, when I make these videos, I make these videos hoping that black men will look at the big picture. Look at the big picture. What am I really trying to say? You know? What am I really trying to say? And assuming that everything I'm telling you is true, what do you do? What must be done on a collective level? What must be done on an individual level? You know, I do apologize, because, I mean, I want to be dealing with much more positive subject matter. But, it's imperative that black men, it's imperative that black men have their head dislodged from the black woman's buttocks immediately at all costs. you know, that is very important, and simps, the simps must be waking up. We must wake up these simps, and we got to get our stuff together on a collective level. On a collective level, man. It's like if all of us were doing our things on an individual level, it wouldn't take much for us to come together and start creating partnerships. Partnerships. That's what it's all about. Networking. Networking and partnerships. Let's not talk about group economics. Let's talk about partnerships. It's the same thing. As long as you're dealing with your particular group. You know, everybody's doing it. Everybody's practicing group economics, except for you. There has to be some group that's not practicing group economics. There has to be somebody that the world can take advantage of. You know, there has to be someone that the world shuts out from opportunities. There has to be somebody that they're doing this to. And that just so happens to be the so-called black man. You know? Don't go back to individualism. I'm talking about on a collective level. You know? On a collective level, man. We gotta do our thing on a collective level, man. You know. I'm hoping that I'm hoping that I'm hoping that I can move on from these types of videos so we can start talking about more important things, more important topics. I like talking about the black woman. She's fun to talk about. She's funny. She's comical. I like laughing at her stupidity. But ultimately, she doesn't even matter in what She doesn't even matter. What matters is black men start networking together, forming groups. You know, group economics. You know, we ain't gonna even talk about group economics. Group economics is a given when you have networks. When you have people who have a common goal, a common interest, they share common beliefs. A core common beliefs. A core of common beliefs. Excuse me. You know. Anyway, black man. On that note, I want to say peace. Get on the 5 steps. Adopt the moral code.